Hi, Nancy. Your pug was so funny, and I can't seem to get my camera to work the right way. So, yeah, I thought we'd do the owl. Hi, Julie. Let me see if I can get my comments to come up on my iPad. There we go. I'm gonna wait for just a couple more minutes. Hi, Bonnie. Man. Oh my gosh, my allergies are out of control. Okay, so we're gonna paint the owl rock with some minor changes. Oh, I got this new light. Let's see. Yeah, we'll leave it on. So what you're gonna need is a rock, whatever size you want. For the brushes, I'm gonna use, see what I can find. I'm gonna probably use either, these are what's called filberts. They're a little bit rounded at the top. Oh my gosh, Nancy. I'm actually allergic to Big E and Smalls, and I didn't take any Zyrtec, and they're dirty. Makes it worse. So, yeah, it should be okay in a minute. So, yeah, a couple brushes to do the background. I'm gonna do like a small round. See, this one is a 3/0. We're not gonna need a really super tiny brush, but just in case, I got this one. I don't know what it is. It's a China brush. It's probably a 0 or a 00, whatever that is. So for the paints, so I'm going to use my art paints, but you can use whatever brand of paint you have. Is my music too loud, you guys? Well, hopefully not. Yeah, the camera's looking fine, but I wanted it to go landscape and it's portrait, so it was kind of annoying. So you're gonna need a dark blue. Okay, I'm using ultramarine, but whatever dark blue paint you have. You're going to need like a turquoise, and I'm gonna use this, I think it's cerulean blue, but it's gonna give me a kind of a turquoise color. You can kind of see the paints there. I'm going to pull out a magenta, but just some type of a pink is really what you're going to need. So maybe like a dark pink and a light pink. And let's see, black, white, and yellow. So I get my yellow. It's just like a medium yellow. You can see it's just like a standard yellow. And what did I say? Oh, we're gonna need brown too. I'm just using like a dark brown. Maybe. We won't need a lot of that. And then white and black. We are going to be making a purple, but if you don't really like to mix colors, you could pull out a purple. I do have one here, but I don't think I'm going to get it out. Unless I absolutely have to. And then here's my black. Okay, so we're going to start with the background first, and I'll try to pull the palette over so you guys can see me mix. And we're going to start with a bigger brush So we're gonna go with kind of a, let's see if it was landscape. Maybe I put it up here. Okay, then you guys could see mixing better. So I usually start with like a little bit of a wet brush. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of mix these together. All right, and just lightened up the blue a little bit. And I'm gonna paint about 1/3 of the way up the rock. It looks like I'm probably going to have to do a couple coats on here. Okay. I'm actually just going to add a little bit more of that turquoise color. And if I start singing, you guys, I'm sorry. Melanie, are you talking to Nancy? I swear she like doubts herself. So I'm just kind of like mixing that in. Okay, and hopefully I can upload this to YouTube tonight. So if you don't want to try to find it in the group or whatever, you can go on my channel. It's just Melinda Lucas Paints. Nancy, I like the tube paints. I think if I don't like the Craftsmart paints so much. I do use them. I think if I was going to buy a lot more paint, I'd probably buy Folk Art. I've heard Deco Art's really good. I use the tube paints because I paint canvases. I like them being thicker. I can water them down. I can use them thicker. And I also understand the color names. Like, I don't understand what pool blue means, but I understand cerulean blue. So, and that's just from school. Okay, so I'm going to take this darker color of blue. Okay, and Nancy, if you're watching and you remember this, remember that sky and the ocean we did? We kind of did this with that sky too. So this is kind of like the darker background for it. Okay, and remember with my blue, maybe your blue's different. We might have to go in and do some more coats. So down here is feeling like it's a little bit dry, so I'm just going to kind of put another layer. You see that on it. Oh, Radon's here. Nancy, did I answer that question? Yeah, I like tube paints better. So my favorite brand lately has been Golden Liquitex Heavy Body and Winsor Newton and Grumbacher. So, but yeah, it's just what I'm used to. But yeah, the other paints are fine. I would pick up something a little bit better than Craftsmart if you can afford it. Okay, so I'm just mixing up a little bit more blue. Added just a little bit of that turquoise color. And we're going to vary it, I think, a little bit from the rock. I don't know. Oh man, Nancy, give me the landscape rock. Okay, so you want to see one of my favorite rocks? Let's see, look at that. I think a kid painted it. I found it when I was having a crappy day and it meant a lot to me, so I kept it. You know, if somebody's painting me a rock, I mean, that's pretty special. I'm going to keep it, so. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to mix up some purple, so I'm getting a little bit of my magenta. I'm just going to add it straight into this blue. Okay, and the magenta color I'm using, the actual name of it is alizarin crimson, but any type of magenta, you could even use kind of like a pinky rose color, will give you a nice purple. Yeah, listen to Melanie, try the Folk Art stuff. Okay, and again, it's going to be a little bit transparent, but I'm just going to put it underneath, maybe over the top of the blue. And again, it's something like this. I'm going to do a few coats. You can, if your paint's been really transparent, mix a tiny bit of white in with it, and you'll see Sometimes it helps. And I think on this one I'm going to let the pink be a little bit brighter. Okay, tell my daughter I'm the sweetest person. Okay. Okay, we're gonna make up some peach, so I'm gonna take this yellow. I was just gonna do like blues and purples in the sky, but I'm kind of feeling it a little bit more sunsetty. Okay, so I'm gonna put these colors in between. And I'm still just using the same kind of bigger brush. I'm gonna move to a smaller one in a second. So we're gonna go for something kind of like this. Okay. I went really dark on my blue. I kind of wanted it to look a little bit more like nighttime. Okay, so I'm going to that 3/0 round. Sometimes they're called spotters. Okay. We need to get it kind of dry. I'm just gonna add a little bit more pink to that peach color. I'm just trying to kind of build up my colors just a little bit more because I'm still seeing a lot of the rock, and it's just some colors by nature are not very opaque. I found yellows, sometimes oranges, some blues, some greens. So, and I'm gonna add a little bit of white to my purple and a little bit of pink. So I'm just trying to change the colors to get a sunset. Amazon. They're having a buy one on their artist paints. I'm just going back over the purple. Buy one, get one 50% off at Michael's right now. You know, I would say you can go with like a Liquitex student grade that they make. And you can get them for fairly cheap, and just start with the basic colors, right? And mix. Like, you don't need purple, you can make purple. You can make brown. So maybe we're gonna have to paint at the dog park next time, Nancy. Okay, so that's starting to look, you know, I'm gonna see that like a little bit more sunsetty. So I'm going to make my peach even more yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of white. And I'm going to keep it kind of away from the blue. Right? And I'm just going to add some yellow streaks. And you can keep on going with the sky until you get something that you like. Oh, I'm going to pick up some more yellow. Or pink. And my music stopped. See how long I can paint without it. Okay. So then I'm going to make some purple. So I'm going to take my magenta and do like a rosy red. Add some blue to it. There we go. The pink color I'm using, if you buy artist paint, if you can find it, is called Opera Rose. Opera Rose. So Opera Rose. Maybe what we need to do is have a field trip to Salt Lake and go to Blick. Dick Blick. Okay. And I think I'm going to add some more pink and we'll be done. Yeah, you guys are still talking about paint. So yeah, Melanie, if I was going to buy craft paint, I think I'd probably buy Folk Art. I did buy some enamel paint to do those mugs. I'm just mixing up some more pink. I made some paint mugs, and I am doing a tutorial. Madison, come say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, goodbye.
Hi.
Goodbye.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, so I'm just going in some places where I kind of want it to be pinker. So I'm kind of thinking like Halloween sunset-y type sky. You guys think that looks okay for this? I think it looks okay. I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. Looks like I put a cloud down there, so. Listen, you can mess with it as much as you want. There. Got a stripy sky. Oh, can you see the pink? Like, I swear there's pink in there. I swear there's pink. I'm going to put more pink. I have to do pink. I'm developing this strong love for pink. And I don't know why. Okay. Are you putting white after it dries? No. Well, like over the blue and stuff. Like I'm putting white in, yeah, over the top, making some of it lighter. Does that answer your question? Am I putting white after it dries? No. I'm getting peach. John's here. Bye, John. Hi, John. Okay. Next step, we are going to do the branch. Let's get my brush out of the water. Okay, so we're going to mix up. I'm actually going to use this one, I think. This one is a flat. It's a 0 flat. You see that? 0 flat. Focus. It's not focusing. Okay, so I'm going to go to my brown. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of black. And I've made like a, you guys can see that. It's like a, I've made a black brown color. Okay, so I'm going to have a branch. It's going to go right over that part of the sunset. Okay, and then with branches, I don't know, I'm just kind of making it up. So it's going to kind of wiggle and go flat. Get smaller. So less pressure. Actually turn the brush because it's a flat. Okay, flat side. It's going to be bigger. And it's okay if you don't cover it all up on this. And then this one, I'm going to make it trail down. And it might look black on the camera, but I promise it's like a black-brown color. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush, dry my brush, and I am actually just going to pick up a little bit of white, okay, and I'm going to mix it into here. I want it to be just a tiny bit browner. Hit some water on the end. Okay, so I've got this like brownish gray color, and I'm just going to take it, and I'm using it. See, it's small. And I'm just going to try to drag it around and make some bark. Okay, and then after this, I'm going to actually change to a thinner brush. So I've got the 3/1 spotter. Make it a little bit darker, a little bit browner, and I'll like this isn't wet or dry yet, so I'm just going to kind of mix paint in the same color family pile while it's wet. Okay. So I'm just going to drag that right across the top. I don't know if you guys are making comments or not, so I think you are. Okay, go back in. A little bit of black. I want it to be a little bit darker. Maybe not that much darker. Okay, and I'm just, while it's still wet, my brush is pretty wet, I'm just going to go in. Right. You guys even see that? Okay, again, a little bit of white and little tiny lines up here. So just kind of for some highlights, and maybe you guys will be able to see this change. was hoping this new clip light I got from my phone would help the live videos show the color better, but I guess not. Okay, Sway is here. White or lighter? Lighter. Okay. Just lighter. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna go flip the album. I'll be right back. I was hoping there's a repeat button, but there's not even a repeat button. Yeah, so you see that's just like a little bit lighter on the top. Stacy's here. Okay. So we're actually gonna do the bird or the owl tail. And then we're gonna put in part of his feet. Okay. And then we are going to do his body. And yeah, and stuff. So this is gonna get my black a little bit more pliable. The bird or the owl is just black. So his tail, I'm just gonna go right underneath this part that curves up. And don't worry if you paint over anything that you love. Okay, but his tail is just three brush strokes going down. Tiny bit of an angle. See that? Okay. So his tail's a little bit at an angle. Oh, sorry. Black's kind of thick. Actually, I think we're gonna do, we'll do his body next. Oh my gosh, Sean, you can find it on my YouTube channel, or you can, you can search for it on here too. I'll put a description. Okay, so for his body, we're just gonna go right up here. I guess you guys can see this. Right up here, and we're gonna kind of angle up like you're gonna go into a tall, skinny heart. Okay, but you're just gonna loop around. Thing too. Same with this tail, this side. Okay. And I'm actually, this one's kind of swooping in a little bit, so I'm gonna, and then we're gonna fill it in. So, right around there. And if your paint's kind of thin, right, just wait for it to dry and put another layer on it. There. Okay. Do that. Like from here, really, if you wanted to, you could turn him into a vulture. Yeah, that might be later. Okay. So the next part is his head. Not even his ears, just his head shape. So. Okay, so we're just gonna curve up to that. And then one over here like that. Just kind of have it curved out just a little bit. Okay, and this is going to be the top of his head. Again, we're not really worrying about his ears. And I am just going to make it kind of go in just a little bit. Almost like a little M. Now, if you don't want to paint white over black, you could try to paint around 2 eye holes. Again, you don't have to get these perfect. So. Alright, so those are going to be his eye holes. Now it looks like Batman. Okay. Are you guys talking about school? Don't talk about school. Oh, and thanks, Stacy. That's nice. I always wonder if you guys actually, well, like my tutorials. I'm gonna bring out his shoulder a little bit more. So again, remember, you can make adjustments. And, you know, I kind of like to see when you guys actually try these, because, you know, man, some of you guys, you like just go with it and you make them that much better. So I'm hoping I can get this one to a little point. And we're going to do his ears. Okay, his ears are just going to be, if I can hold it up here so you guys can see it. His ears are just going to come up, and I'm going to kind of, almost like little triangles. Okay, so that one didn't go so well, but it's okay. Kind of. He's kind of a skinny looking owl right now. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out this. I bought a new small brush today, but I don't wanna use the freaking super tiny. I just want one to be pointy. Okay. So when I'm doing something like these colored eyes, I'm gonna go in with white first, and I'm going to just carefully try to make a circle. We're going to be painting over these, and if it gets kind of wonky on the outside, you can always kind of fix it with black later. Okay, or if you miss a spot. But that way it's going to make it easier for our yellow and oranges to show up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do his feet. Let me look and see how I did his feet. Okay, so it looks like I started out with an orange, and then a yellow, and then added some black. So I'm going to mix up an orange from this magenta that I have, and this yellow. Maybe a little bit of pink. Trying to get it a little bit brighter. This brush, all my brushes are like getting crappy. Okay, so I got an orange. Okay. Hi, Bonnie. Okay, so these feet, they kind of angle in a little bit, and it's 3 lines. Okay. Sorry. We're going to try this one. Okay, so 3 lines. This one might be too small. That worked. You guys see that? 3 lines? Kind of angled in a little bit. And you don't have to have spaces between them or anything, because we're going to be adding some stuff. So I'm just going to try to make them a little bit darker. It's funny, this brush has like this little tiny hair sticking out the top. There. That's going to be his feet. I'm going to mix up some more of that. So I got a super light orange. You could use whatever you wanted. It's almost a yellow. I'm going to go back up to his eyes because we need to let those dry. Like I said, I think this is the wrong this is the wrong brush for the job. I just need a little one. Okay, so this is, again, I think it's a 3/0. And don't worry, like I went out of the side of the lines. I'm going to fix it later. And I'm just going to get some straight yellow. And I can still see a little bit of that orange color through it, so try to It was showing up there. Okay, so I have the yellow. I'm just gonna, I think this is what I did. And I'm just gonna put a line down the bottom half to a third in the middle of each of the strokes I did earlier. Like little highlights. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for that to dry. And I really want like a good orange color again. And I'm like failing at mixing today. Okay, so that's gonna work. And I'm just gonna try the best as I can. It's okay if we go through the middle, but I want it to get on the edge the most. I can't even see that. It looks really cool. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna get, oh, you know what I should have done? I should have done the beak. So you can put a beak in it or not. I decided I wanted one. So I'm actually gonna add a little bit of white to that orange pile I made. So I want it to show up. And I'm pretty much, oh, okay. Man, I put too much white in there. And then I'm just gonna cover it up with a little bit of yellow. Now, my other beak, you can see, he just kind of has that little, I don't know, there's like a little divot in it. That's because I went back in with black. Okay, because we can cover it up, so. A little bit orange. Okay, so now I'm gonna go get my black, and I just want to make sure it's fairly spreadable. So then you might not have this problem. I think the folk art, I did, like I said, I bought some folk art black enamel paint. That stuff spreads really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up where I went outside the lines with my black. Yep. Just start painting bigger rocks. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in here. And you know, if you had a dotting tool, this might be a good use for that. I'm just going to make a big pupil. Because, you know, it's evening and I think they'd be bigger. So I could see better. Whoa, stay where you're supposed to go. Okay. I'm just gonna thin it down a little bit more. We're gonna have to do some repairs on this eye, but I think I have an idea of what to do, or it kind of went weird. And then I'm just gonna kind of bring some of this black down. And make it look like that. So I think that looks cute. And then in between the very top of his feet, I don't know if I can do it holding it up here, but I don't know if I can. I got to do it down here. I'm just going to make a couple little lines. Oh. Hey. I don't know, kind of went crazy with that, so I can go in with a little bit of yellow. Probably not. Okay, I think that actually looks okay. Maybe right here. Kind of lost his foot. Okay, so there's that. Last step. I am gonna just take that same brush, dip it in my white paint. Okay, and I'm gonna do some dots. Okay, so I'm gonna put one right there and one in here. I'm gonna put one right there over where I screwed up and one in there. There. So I'm thinking, as I'm messing with everything, what thinking I'm kind of liking this. I'm going to make this part a little bit smaller. It's almost like it's a smiley face. So yeah, I think he looks pretty good. He's a little bit different than this one. I used more of the dark blue in it, but pretty close. He looks scared. So, yeah, I kind of like him. So hopefully you guys try this, maybe play with the background. I thought before of just doing like, oranges, reds, and like orange and yellow to make it look like a fall, background. You could always go back in if you didn't like a color, paint over it, add more, make it your own, and, post them if you tag me in them. I'd love to see them. I know some of you guys do. It's super fun to see what you guys come up with, and hopefully I'm helping and you guys keep on painting. I think on my YouTube channel there's been some interest in shading and blending. So I'm going to paint a cherry on there and go over kind of shading and blending on a sphere, because a cherry's a sphere. And hopefully that'll help you guys out. So watch for that in the next, maybe next week sometime. And I'll go live again in a couple weeks. So hopefully you try this. I can't wait till I can hide these now and have, oh.